I'm back! Hi again, I am Fathom and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations. Had to think of which direction to point. I know I've been gone for 2 weeks. Accepted, that is the fact. If you can't tell, just from stuff being around, it's because my boyfriend, whose name is Ethan, who is my boyfriend named Ethan, he moved in. And so I took a week off to do that. And then the night I was getting ready to film the next day, we moved a few things into my room, like I changed which bed I'm sleeping on and stuff like that. And I might have slammed my face into something. It was dark, and I forgot he put the dresser in, and I use a ring light as a lamp, and so my light switch was on the ground. And it happened to be the dresser was on top of the switch, and I full force into it. It looked scarier than it is. I am okay. I have a band-aid on it, so you don't have to look at it. So, if you're willing to ignore my face, I am too. Settled. Great. Awesome. Today, we're gonna get back into me actually working on things, because I took a couple days off of work total to make sure like the head pain went away. Mostly it's aesthetic what's left now. Today, we're working on a project that I have been having on the back burner. It's a commission project that I've mentioned a few times that I'm excited to work on, and that is MothMan. My friend Mari commissioned me to make a MothMan using this person's pattern. We're gonna put it down here. I have now made this pattern once. Oh, I dropped the last color. Oh well, I'll show you in a minute when I find it. I have made this pattern once, and I took it with me to a craft fair, and it sold the first craft fair I took it to, despite it being priced at $55, which usually my plushies sell if they are 40 and under. 40 is pushing it. So when I have something above that sell, I'm like, I should keep one of those in stock. MothMan is one of those. A lot of people recognized him and were like, oh, it's MothMan. And I was like, oh, it is. Mari, that is. You can hear more about her here from previous commissions. Oh God, I am so far back in this framing. I'm so sorry, editing Fathom. I'll suffer, I guess. I'm not standing for all of this. But she picked out the colors and the yarn. We went to the craft store together to pick them. And we went back and forth and like, here's some options. I was like, here's some yarn texture things to think about. And we decided on a mixed texture variation of this. So usually when I make plushies, I will stick to all one type of yarn, maybe one accent yarn. This pattern calls for 3 different yarns. She picked 3 different texture yarns. So for the body, we have Bernat Forever Fleece, which is an 100% polyester, weight 6, my bad, weight 6. This is the color Coal. This is their equivalent of black. It is actually, on camera it looks pretty black. It is this very deep, sooty gray. We have, for the antenna, this, which is Bernat Blanket in crimson. So that'll be the body of the antenna. And somewhere, I'm sure, somewhere I have Bernat Pipsqueak in this very pale gray. And we went back and forth on it. And like I was like, you could do an albino one. We could do an all black one. We could do whatever color you want. Because they didn't have black fur yarn in the store. And I was like, I could try and order it online. It might cost a little bit more. And she's like, no, we got this. MothMan may appear all black in the darkness, but he's a gray guy. People are just hyperbolizing what he looks like. He's actually like gray and a little bit fluffier and lighter. And I was like, I can work with that. I'm down to try that. So those are the colors we're working with. It is, for me, the day before a LARP, which, as you guys may have learned if you've been here a while, it means I skip a few days of working on it. I'm gonna do what I can to work on this project. Maybe by the time I'm done, I'll be fully recovered. Who knows? We're just gonna go to town, see what happens, and I'm gonna stop rambling and actually get to work now. Pew, pew, pew. God, I've missed doing that. My lighting is mid, but that is okay. So, it has been about 3 hours since we got started. I have had brunch. Can the mouse stop freaking out, please? I had brunch. I've done like 2 loads of laundry. I've texted some friends, the usual stuff. I also have completed both of the arms and most of the body of our Mothman. Right now, I am winding up the yarn because it was starting to collapse in on itself a little bit. I'd rather sit here and do this tedious job than risk it getting really tangled at an important part. So, this is my job for the next 10 minutes or so. In general, this pattern, very easy. I love Mom Stitchetti. I have to think of what the name is. I know it's the meme of Mom Spaghetti, but Mom Stitchetti. And we can catch up. I have now done 4 markets. On average, I make about $450-ish in profit per market, sometimes a bit above, sometimes a bit below. I've had some repeat customers. The Mothman previously that I sold at a market went to a repeat customer. I love them. They have like this full fursuit head that is like a bear skull surrounded by roses and vines. It's a very cool setup. And they are a mushroom collector. That is what they told me the first time we met. Was like, yeah, if you have something mushroom, I will come in. I will buy things. And I was like, noted. I sold my mushroom things at a previous market. I had some, but they had already bought the ones I had. And I was like, I don't have that. But I have Mothman, and I know you have a Mothman acrylic pin that I can see. And they're like, you have Mothman. I was like, yes, I have Mothman. And they went, if it is not sold in the next 30 minutes, I will be back for it. And sure enough, 30 minutes-ish on the dot. Like, I think it was like 35 minutes because they had to walk from the other end of the market. But they came back and they're like, it's still here. He is mine. And I was like, excellent, I am glad. And I let them know I had a deal going on. If they buy any 2 items, they got a little mini mystery plushie. I basically make micro amigurumi in little Easter eggs. And if people buy a certain amount of stuff, I gift them one. And they're like, I have been looking at one of the crop tops you made. And I was like, I mean, you could. I'm sorry, it's my job to tempt you. I'm not telling you to go out of your budget for it. But if it's tempting you and you want it, it's here. They're like, it was here last time and I regretted not buying it. You got me. So they bought both things and I really appreciated it. I've had a few people return who were like, oh wow, this is new. You didn't have this last time. I'm glad I came back over. I also talked with a lot of the artists at the actual market this time. My first few markets, I didn't walk around as much because I was like, I need to focus on my booth. And I have noticed that if I am not at the table, people don't buy the stuff because I appreciate this. Customers are discerning. And if I am not there, the people who I bring with me are like, yeah, my friend made this. They're off doing such and such thing. They want to ask questions about the art, and so they just won't buy it while I'm not there. They'll wait for me to get back to answer questions. And that is appreciated, but also frustrating because it's like I feel like I can never leave the table sometimes. But I made an effort. I went around for like 20 minutes at this last one and talked to some people. Talked to some first-time vendors, talked to a leather worker about some LARPing stuff. It was a lot of fun. I even got 2 commissions from this last market, which you guys are going to see in videos coming up. The yarn is on the way currently. I think I have quite a few commissions lined up currently, and so right now I'm just kind of trying to power through them because it'd be nice to kind of have a clean slate come holiday season, because that'll be my off season where making commissions will be the important thing. So for now, I'm getting this one done. I'm pleased. Let me go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3. There we go. So here's our body so far. And here are our arms that'll go on in the next round. He feels a little bit smaller than the previous one I've made. Sorry, I almost hiccuped there. You didn't need to see that. He is a little bit smaller, but that's because the blanket yarn from Burnout Blanket is a little bit fluffier, so it feels bigger. This one just is a tube, and so it feels a little bit smaller. In general, I don't think I'm gonna finish this today. I might finish it before the LARP tomorrow, though, and if so, I'll take this with me to deliver at the LARP and be like, surprise, I finished your commission. Because I will see Mari at the LARP, because we LARP together. It's how we met. She's cool like that. For now, I think I've done enough rambling. I've given you the progress update. Eyes. Oh my god, eyes. Eyes. You're probably like, Fathom, what are you on? For me, thinking through this, I use 24mm eyes for this project. They're very cute eyes. I enjoy them. The problem is with MothMan, the standard eyes I have are black. They don't read from a distance. MothMan notably has these bright red eyes. And so when I made the MothMan previously, I hand painted them, which means I need to get some stuff out to hand paint some eyes so they have time to dry by the time I need to put them in this project. That didn't cross my mind until I paused just now. That's what we're gonna do, is I'm gonna move some laundry over and then we're gonna paint some safety eyes. Excellent. Game plan made. You were so helpful. You're the MVP of this one. And because I made you feel good, you should subscribe. I'm sorry. That was bad. Let's wrap it up. Okay, I have done a little bit more work. We have a good amount of the body done. We have our little fur trim. I checked. It is elephant gray pipsqueak. Bernat. That is the yarn. Anyways, we have this nice, beautiful. I also sat and thought on the eyes a bit more. I messaged Mari, who commissioned it, and she was like, you decide the method we're going to do for the eyes. And so I decided, instead of painting the eyes, this MothMan, compared to the previous one I've done, the other one felt more alive. And I don't mean that as an insult to this material choice. This one feels more like the doll that you see the little kid holding in the horror movie, versus the other one, because it was so synergistic in how it looked, it felt a lot more like an actual creature. And since this feels more doll-like by comparison, I'm gonna go ahead, instead of painting eyes, I'm gonna crochet some eyes. I'm gonna just make a couple of small circles, sew them on once this head is together. For now, it is around 3:13 p.m. Since Ethan, who is my boyfriend named Ethan, lives here, he gets off work in like 15 minutes. I've been wrapping up working a little bit earlier and starting working a little bit earlier in the day. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop on this project for the night. I genuinely do believe that I might be able to finish this tomorrow. We'll see. I might be crazy. I also painted my nails because today was therapy Thursday, and so I did that during therapy so you wouldn't miss on me working on too much. For now, though, I am going to go ahead and go do something else, wait for him to get home. Maybe I'll work on a different project, maybe I won't. We'll see. I will see you tomorrow when I will have new bandage and new clothes. Pew pew pew. Is my lighting the best? No. Is my framing the best? No, considering you are sitting on top of my cup with the straw holding you up. We're gonna accept it. As you can see, I'm no longer in a band-aid. It is mostly healed. I am glad. I am talking. Can whoever is loudly driving outside please be quiet? Thank you. I am in my first night LARP outfit. If you have not seen me wear this shawl before, it's because I haven't really. If you want to hear more about it, you can hear more about it here. Had to think of where to point. Sorry, editing Fathom as always. Have my hair all fluffy, all that jazz. But you're not here to hear me talk about me getting ready for the LARP that's in 10 hours. So far, we have this Mothman here. I decided, as if we were sitting here, I told you this in the last clip I talked in, I thought about the safety eyes, and I was like, this Forever Fleece by Bernat Blanket, it leans itself to a very rustic ragdoll looking design, and the safety eyes would look good, but it wouldn't match the vibe. And so I sat here, I talked to Mari, she was like, yeah, do what you feel is right. And so I went ahead and I crocheted. This is a magic ring with 8 half double crochet in it. Slip stitch to the beginning in order to fasten it off, leave a long tail, sew it on. And I think this encapsulates that look a bit better. Right now, the only thing we have left is putting our fluff onto the ends of our antenna, which are just these 2 little strings of red single crochet, and onto the edges of our wings, which I have here. This pattern, very easy to follow. I highly recommend getting it. It is fantastic. I haven't tried the Cthulhu pattern. I want to put that credence there. We're going to make Cthulhu at some point, trust me. But I think this pattern's fantastic. I think it's a fun time. I'm glad that I'm finishing this in like a day of work. I was expecting it to take me a lot longer. It's just one of those where once I get started, I can kind of get on a roll. And yeah, for the most part, this is the last couple steps. While I have you here and I'm rambling, because I always do, I actually forgot to tell you guys about an experience that I've had now for the first time at a craft fair. So I do my craft fairs. I'm in 2 of them for the full seasons, and I get to pick which Saturdays I sell. I had been to this one a couple of times, and I've been using the Crochet by Jenna No Sew Dragon pattern, which I am very, very glad exists. It's been one of my best sellers. I sat and timed out my materials, my yarn usage, my time, in order to make sure that I was getting the most bang for my buck while also being the most economical that I could be towards consumers. I bring this up because this last market I went to, I was feeling pretty good about it, and I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. My dragons aren't selling as well. Maybe everybody who wants one has one, it happens. And then I see someone walking around with one. And I was like, oh, cool, somebody else is selling them, that's why. One of my friends goes from booth to booth, who's helping me run it, and notices that the price, very notably, is like exactly $5 less than I charge for them. And I was like, okay, they just must be able to crochet faster than I do. Sometimes I get distracted, sometimes I'm a little slow. Maybe they're just like a real professional compared to me. And she was like, see, I thought that too. And then I talked to them and they're like, yeah, when I first came here, this is the market person, to be clear, I saw another crochet artist was doing really well selling these dragons, and so I asked them where they got the pattern from, and I decided to just make a more economical version because they're making enough money, and I think they should kind of spread the wealth, and that consumers shouldn't have to be paying more just to fill their pockets. What? I make a point. I do not think that gatekeeping is like the best thing in the world. If somebody asks me where I got my patterns, I'm like, yeah, this one's mine, or yeah, this one is from this artist, or I don't remember. If you give me a second, I can pull that up for you and show you where I got it from. Because how you crochet the exact same pattern and how I crochet it are 2 very different things. The person in question, I went over to their booth. I didn't talk to them. I waited and said hi to them because they recognized me. And I was like, I'm not gonna do whatever. But we sat, talked for a hot minute. No, sorry. Me and my friend, not the market person. We sat and talked for a minute. And I realized, like, yeah, they asked me what size eyes I use because my eyes are different than the size the pattern calls for. They asked me what yarns I use. They had literally identical to my version of the plushie they were selling for $5 under. And I was like, oh. I still sold a few. People were like, yeah, I like yours a lot. Your stitch definition is like significantly higher quality than I've seen around here, which I don't like that they're comparing me to other artists. I don't like it. I appreciate the professionalism comment about how like nice my stitches are. Don't like it being used comparatively. I want to make that clear. But like people bought some, they like the fact that I give them stories and names and tell them about like the process making the dragons. But it was just like a, for lack of a better word, a slap to the face. That like, someone is intentionally undercutting me because I'm too successful and I need to spread the wealth to them. I don't really know what I'm gonna do about it. I'm not gonna like report them or anything because like they're free to use the pattern. It's a public pattern somebody can buy. I'm not upset about that. They are doing what they can, and holy shiitake mushroom. In case you can't tell, it's about to rain. Haha. Anyways, where was I? Oh, I can't stop them from buying the pattern. Can't do anything like that. But it kind of sucks. I was feeling good about the community there, making friends there, talking with people, but it just showed that some people view this all as a competition. And I know it's like a, well, yeah, it's capitalism, of course it's one, but like, we're all artists who make things, and even when we make the same item, we make them in wildly different styles. Unless you are an artist who, instead of following your truth in what you make, is only hopping on trends and only making trendy patterns. In which case, the only thing you can do is jump from design to design and see what sells with people around you and copy it. There is no right or wrong way to be a professional crochet artist, but it just kind of sucks to be on the receiving end, as much of a compliment as that is, because that means I set a trend at this market and that dragons sell. I have an idea of what I'm going to do to kind of sit and have a backup idea of designs I might do in order to kind of fill that gap. People like the stories of my plushies, etc. And so, sorry, I just heard like a revving engine. There's lightning in the distance, despite it being sunny out. I think that I have a few plans in store. I bought a few patterns. I've been looking around at some ideas. For one, not to spoil too many things, I have a big and small unicorn pattern to look into. I have a couple of different mermaid designs to look into. And I have a bunch of small birds to look into. I think that it'll be a nice way of kind of offering up a bit more variety, having a bit more to offer to see how it goes. And we'll go from there. And if I keep getting copied, it just means that I'm really cool and I'll just keep being true to myself. And hopefully there'll be room for all of us. For now, I'm gonna finish sewing because I am rambling a lot, because I'm gonna be honest, that thunder and lightning scared the ever-living crap out of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to sewing, and then we will catch up as I show you the finished project. Pew, pew, pew. Stab? Pew? Stab? You get the point. It has been a few days since we have talked, and I beg for your forgiveness, because I am Boo Boo the Fool. I am Bozo the Clown. I may or may not have forgotten to film the finished project and a video outro before giving it to Mari. Mari, if you're watching this, you are fine. I was happy to give it to you. I have a photo though, so let me just insert it here. Yeah, he turned out really cute, very ragdoll-esque. He was adorable. He still is adorable because he's not like dead. He's just like at his new home. I was exhausted from the LARP. The LARP was really good, but I was exhausted from it. I did so much running around, hoo boy, and I just blanked on filming anything. My nose, as you can see, is almost entirely better. We have a small cut left, but I'll take that. I wore green makeup on top of it with no bandage the entire weekend, which could have been a mistake, but it seems to be okay, so I'll take it. All in all, it was a fun project. I am glad it turned out. I am sorry I don't have it here to be like, look at how cute it is, and get a cool thumbnail. Suffer for me, I guess. For now, though, I think it is time we wrap up this video, because the project is done, and that's kind of the point of the video. Right now, I am making a little baby penguin. I just finished the body of it. This is my first time using this pattern, and I think it is cute. We'll see if I keep making it, though. I want to say thank you for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you're going to do one of those three things, make it subscribing so you can see all the other strange and eclectic things I make around here. If you want to do more than that, you can find my website, my Etsy, my Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. down in the description below. Today's question of the day is, what is your favorite cryptid? For me, it is Mothman. I love Mothman. He is just cute, fluffy, little creature in the dark, stares at you with big eyes. But some people are like Jersey Devil fans. I know there's Cthulhu fans. Let me know, comments below, what your favorite Eldritch Abomination is. Ooh, my voice is suffering from doing lots of yelling this weekend. Haha. With that, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.